My girlfriend's sister made me sit alone at dinner while she told everyone I was a restaurant delivery boy with simple palates. She even wiped her hand after shaking mine like I'd contaminated her. I'd been dating Veronica for 3 months when she insisted I meet her older sister at this restaurant downtown. My stomach was in knots because Veronica meant everything to me, and without her sister's approval, there was no way we could get married. Just warning you, Veronica said. Gwen's been impossible since my ex. He flashed fake wealth everywhere, then stole $50,000 from me. Now she assumes every guy is playing the same con. Little did either of them know I owned the restaurant we were dining at. All 10 locations, actually. But I'd learned money changes how people see you, so I kept quiet and wore my usual jeans. Gwen arrived 20 minutes late, and the way she looked me up and down made it clear she'd already made up her mind about me. When she shook my hand, she immediately wiped hers on her dress like I'd contaminated her. The hostess led us to our table, and Gwen sniffed noticeably when she sat next to me before switching to the seat across from us instead. Our waiter James, who'd worked for me for 3 years, smiled warmly and said, "Good evening, sir," before catching himself and just handing out menus. Gwen laughed, this sharp sound that made Veronica flinch. "They probably know all their regular delivery boys," she said, examining her menu like it was evidence in a court case. Her husband arrived a few minutes later, apologizing for being late from surgery. When he asked what I did for a living, Gwen jumped in before I could answer. "He works in food service," she said, waving her hand dismissively like she was swatting away a fly. The way she said it made the busboy sound like a step up. She pulled out her phone and started taking photos of the table, angling it carefully to crop me out of every shot. "We're documenting everything for grandfather's memorial next month," she announced to the table, then turned to Veronica. "We're keeping things intimate though, family and accomplished friends only." When the waiter returned, I opened my mouth to order, but Gwen cut me off. "He'll have the chicken, plain. Restaurant workers have simple palates. Too much flavor confuses them." She said it with this fake concern, like she was doing me a favor. Veronica's face went red, but she stayed quiet. The wine came next, and when I reached for the bottle to pour for everyone, Gwen's hand shot out and grabbed it first. She filled her glass, her husband's glass, Veronica's glass, then set the bottle back down. My glass stayed empty. "Don't worry," she said sweetly. "I'm sure you're used to water." As we ate, she watched me like I was some kind of experiment. "Do you always hold your fork like that?" she asked, tilting her head. "Like you're afraid of it?" Her husband tried to change the subject to the playoffs, but Gwen wasn't done. "Your mother must be so proud," she said suddenly, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Her son, serving other people's children food while they build legacies." She reached over and straightened my collar like I was 5 years old. "Let me guess, single mother? Or worse, 2 mothers? That would explain the complete absence of masculine ambition." I felt my jaw clench so hard my teeth hurt. Veronica grabbed my hand under the table, squeezing it tight. Gwen wasn't finished though. She pulled out her phone again, this time showing Veronica photos. "Remember David? Harvard MBA, just made partner. He asked about you last week." She swiped through more pictures. "You were glowing with Christopher, that Tuscany trip, and James's yacht proposal. You looked alive then, not resigned." She grabbed Veronica's other hand, holding it between both of hers. "You're dating down because Marcus hurt you, but this is just punishing yourself." That's when the elderly couple from table 12 walked over. Mrs. Thompson, who'd been coming here since opening day, smiled at me warmly. "We just wanted to thank you personally for covering our anniversary dinner last month," she said, touching my shoulder gently. Her husband nodded enthusiastically. "It's why we love all your restaurants. You never forget your first customers. We've been following you since you opened the first location," Mrs. Thompson added. Such a success story. Gwen's face went from red to white in about 2 seconds. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "Your restaurants?" she whispered. Gwen's hands were shaking so bad she knocked over her water glass. "I didn't. I was just trying to protect." She looked at Veronica desperately. "You said he worked in food service." "I do work in food service," I said quietly. "I serve food at 10 locations across the